Pakistan's economy may be moving towards growth, but for consumers, the cost of living remains a pressing concern. Short-term inflation rose by 9.11% year-on-year in the week ending August 13th, according to the Pakistan Bureau of Statistics, marking the 70th consecutive week in which the sensitive price index has increased. The latest numbers show just how uneven the economic recovery remains. Prices of some essential food items have risen sharply over the past year. Tomatoes are up nearly 144%, onions almost 126%, and wheat flour more than 77%. LPG prices have increased by 55%, while diesel and petrol are up approximately 34% and 23% respectively. On a weekly basis, the picture was somewhat mixed. The SPI increased by 0.5% on a week-on-week basis. Onions recorded the biggest increase at nearly 25%. Prices of petrol and diesel, meanwhile, declined slightly during the week, but the broader trend remains one of persistent pressure on household budgets. And fuel prices are particularly important because their impact extends well beyond the petrol pump. Higher transportation costs feed into the prices of food and other essential goods. That brings us to another development this week. The government moved to avert a nationwide strike by petroleum dealers, approving a 15.5% increase in their margins on petrol and high-speed diesel. From September 1st, dealers will receive an additional 1.34 rupees per litre, taking their fixed margin from 8.64 rupees to 9.98 rupees. The decision came after petroleum dealers threatened a strike across the country from August 15th. The dealers had demanded that their fixed margin of 8.64 rupees per litre be replaced with one linked to retail prices of petrol and diesel, asking for it to be set at 8% of the price of the two fuels. That would have pushed their margin to roughly 26 rupees per litre on petrol and 30 rupees on diesel at current prices, potentially placing a much greater burden on consumers. Instead, a 15.51% increase in the fixed margin was approved. The immediate crisis has therefore been diffused, with dealers calling off their strike. But the episode highlights a broader question of how to balance the demands of businesses operating in the fuel sector with the government's efforts to contain inflation. That tension is particularly important because the State Bank believes Pakistan is now moving from economic stabilization towards sustainable growth. SBP Governor Jameel Ahmed said the economy grew 3.7% in financial year 26, and growth could remain between 3.5 and 4.5% in financial year 27. He pointed to wiser fiscal and monetary policies, record remittances, and an improving external position. Remittances crossed $41 billion in financial year 26 and are expected to reach $44 billion in financial year 27, while foreign exchange reserves reached $18.4 billion by the end of financial year 26 and are expected to exceed $21 billion in financial year 27. Average inflation for financial year 26 was 7.1%, and SBP's assessment suggests monetary policies remain appropriate to keep inflation within its 5 to 7% medium-term target. So Pakistan enters financial year 27 with a more stable macroeconomic picture and hopes of stronger growth. But the latest inflation data offers an important caveat. For the recovery to translate into sustainable growth, stability at the macroeconomic level will ultimately have to be felt in household budgets as well. For more details, read the Dawn stories linked in description.